understanding that DK Metcalf is in a one-on-one type situation, just runs by the defensive back, Akil.
Play in a first down for Miami.
I think he's made number 10 his own, that's for sure. And his speed.
It's what we talked about earlier, the time in the pocket that the offensive line affords, the ability of C.J. Stroud to...
And their ability to run the football. Look at that route. That's a master class in route running by Amari Cooper.
Big play by Ramsey.
Well, you decide with one-on-one, Jakobi Meyers.
As he comes, you need a lot of time for this to develop. See, acts like he's running a corner.
It'll be second down and 13.
And Kevin, I'm surprised the flag wasn't thrown at the end of this. I'm not so sure he was out of bounds.
And now he's been able to become the guy. A turnover machine, 4 interceptions on the year, and he's got him by.
And they'll put him at the 41.
Well, excellent job by Aiden O'Connell, and what a different quarterback.
It makes you speechless. I mean, this is a ridiculous play. I mean, he's on the top side of the receiver, not only to undercut him in a one-on-one situation, and right from the release on the line of scrimmage, look at Brandon Ayuk on top of Jamel Dean. And again,
but he's especially good running these slants. You see the way that he gets going up the field as though he's going.
He holds onto the ball. He waits for Dell to make this move, and then just an absolute dime down the field. Again,
if they rush 6, they're not going to do the typical man-to-man kind of coverage. That time
he's going to sell the fade and then come back. Ball's already in the air. And that's just, you get
7 on third downs, one of the worst third down offenses in the league, and again the play.
Well, and they got Illuminor with the holding call, but on the left side, Jakobi Meyers goes to the outside, or it's Tucker that's on the outside.
Brock Purdy is so impressive. There's the release on the line of scrimmage. Gets underneath. What a great job coming back underneath inside Carlton Davis. And with all that,
the situation to score just didn't dictate to make that decision.
And you're going to match him up against Brandon Ayuk, and a really nice release off the line of scrimmage right there. And there's that route running that's really starting.
But you see it right here, one-on-one matchup, and he just runs the quick slant. Really good catch going down.
And he's as good as anybody, A.J. Brown is, at making the contested catch.
Their first-round pick, staying with Shepard, reads the route. I love that he gets his eyes.
Explosive play to the 46.
Well, another Miami explosive play and another 100-yard receiving day for Tyreek Hill as he goes over 100.
T. Adams comes up with a big touchdown reception.
Well, this is just a play fake, and you're working a crossing route all the way across the field. And
from the Broncos to set it up.
if you were going to watch in Paris the Olympics and the high jump, there's the plant foot, jump straight up in the air. Could have been a Fosbury flop over the back. And just too big, too strong, and he has been that all season long for the Broncos.
He gets that second foot down just before that hand.
And here was the coverage, Tony.
Yeah, and it's outstanding coverage. And this is a great quarterback play. I know everything's covered. You could have tried to fit something in. The one area, though, you got to understand.
I like the connection that he and Sam Howell have had. He's extremely explosive. Just goes, whips around.
Corner of the end zone. A beautiful throw, and this is a mismatch. You got Hooker playing inside. Ridley to the wide side of the field. Throws, and they're throwing on just on a line. Here he's got to layer it up and over Davis Gaither in a great route. Talented guy. Remember the combine is, these rookie years. Combine he ran a 4.2, so he's got speed. He just puts his eyes back to the quarterback and then loses Beckham. Good arm strength there by Jackson.
Within the defense, he goes against 11-yard pickup here.
Well, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to eliminate the big play. They're trying to take away some of the big up.
This is really nice. Chris Moore has caught a couple deep balls this year, and he just turns around Monteric Brown. Instead of Levis leading more to the outside.
He has lived up to the billing.
See Jakobi Meyers going down the middle of the field. That draws the attention of Holland.
Just today got called for the holding in the end zone earlier.
Is that frustration?
This is a good decision from Drew Lock. Tyler Lockett has a step, but the ball is slightly underthrown. In those situations, you have to put the ball.
Fantastic this year. 7 touchdowns on the season, but he has so many contested catches, just like
the safety position. He's going to be the guy that comes inside. A good release back to the middle of the field, but there's Tashawn.
So at a certain point, Cleveland's got to get some people downfield.
Yeah, and watch, he's going to pull it down because it's closed right there. Tashaun Gibson closes that first window, jumping in front.
8th penalty of the season.
It's really nice by Tyler Lockett just coming down the stem at the top of his route to convert that third down.
Just a great job by Charvarius Ward on this play. It's really well set up. He doesn't take the bait completely, able to recover, and then stays with it, gets his hand.
Covers, watch, you can't move his weight into that. Boom! Shakir didn't even know that was going to get in there. That is crazy, and then he does the rest with a great...
He's going to go around, down the field, presses outside. That's going to become an in route, from that spot.
What a catch, man.
DeVonta Smith, he slows down for the ball and is able to just make sure that it's over the shoulder, and they're able to get DeVonta Smith, who is able to...
Same sort of.
And the second Chiefs turnover of the night.
Fumble recovered by the defense.
That's such a good job by Roby.
For a long while now, and these plays are really just making a difference. All Pro 3 of the last 4 years. And
he knows when he's protected. He knows when he can hold it. He knows when
he's watched the crossing route coming across the field. Hand on it, ball's tipped up in the air.
He beat him so bad off the line, but here's another look at it.
Watch the position of Deommodore Lenoir. When the ball comes off Baker Mayfield's hand right about now, he looks like he's got him to the outside. And then Mike Evans drifts upfield a little bit. That gives Deommodore Lenoir the opportunity to undercut that and almost...
Well, watch these two guys right here. These are your guys, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, he just creates so much attention. You see.
And this is that double move by Mike Evans. Watch him come down the field. He's going to go out to the corner, then back to the post, and Tashaun Gibson does a really good job. And again, it's the timing. Ball's out of his hand right now as soon as Chris Godwin makes that.
Amon-Ra St. Brown right here on the slot and just watched it. I mean, that is just saying.
To the game when you break it down, third downs, red zones, end of half, end of game. And that was an excellent throw because that is very well covered by Charvarius Ward.
So effective as a rookie. See Puka Nacua coming across the field. Devin Witherspoon just waiting for him. Gets just disrupted.
The players will not stay with this long enough. He goes hard enough. Look at the commitment he forces Devin Smith to commit to. Going inside, you've got to honor that because you think he...
Get up inside that pocket, get yourself a little bit extra time, and then a beautiful throw.
Young player, high point the football, getting up over Jordan Fuller, getting his hands on it, bringing it down to his body to secure the catch.
Right on the timing of the snap, and didn't give up any ground. Mike Evans. I mean, that's a lot of faith. You blitz Isaiah Oliver, and then you trust Jair Brown in coverage.
Nice one here.
Yeah, and he's done a really nice job for him this season. Caught a lot of eyes in training camp, and he's continued that through the course of the season. That is up at the top, number 20, eyes in on the quarterback, feeling the presence of Mike Evans and gets on top of him. Just a really nice job of defending that.
Moving outside the pocket, finding guys going across the field here with Tutu Atwell. That's important.
He puts Bobby Wagner
man-to-man right here. Watch him drop off. He's going to come back in there. And just a little punch right there. Create that opportunity for your offense.
A different feel when you stand in that huddle and have all your guys there. And here's some more of those weapons. And it's something that Todd Bowles talked about.
One of the good things backed up is they really don't hurt you that much, as Geno Smith does a nice job working the middle of the field.
Just going to get at that top of the route and then use his strength. Quickness, boom, off there, and then open.
This is his favorite target. Cooper Kupp missed the first 4 games of the season. This is 6'1" back, and you see him. He's just short-handed, and he also has the ability to keep moving forward.
When you've got a lot of good wide receivers, you've got to get Tyler Lockett the ball, which they do a great job of right here. I think one of the challenges for Geno Smith.
Coming out wobbly for Kyler Murray these last couple series.
I don't know why he's not throwing the ball.
Trying to get Davante Adams crossing the field, dropping it up the field, but
get after the quarterback to hit people. So he allowed his defense to just put their claws out and go.
Yeah, it means like, all right, I'm just throwing this away. Right, I got to save time. There's nothing there, just throw it away. And he didn't realize he threw a duck. When you throw a duck out there against an athlete like Isaiah Simmons, the bad things happen. Oh.
You guys are right. Pressure was coming too. He has it. Maintain control.
Hit by the free safety because he comes in, and that's a big crunching hit right there. Doesn't back away, takes the hit.
He's going to just take a casual stroll, and then he's going to take off. And Cisco recognizes it, but how about this throw in a perfect location? Hits Hopkins in stride.
C.J. Stroud doesn't miss.
No.
You know, sometimes we watch a game.
You see this ball just kind of hang there. You see he's open, but Derek Stingley stays with him and goes up and just takes it away.
You know, I remember Warren Moon saying this about Joey Galloway when they were together in Seattle. I don't know how. That's exactly where you want it as a receiver. You put your hands up right on the face mask. You can't miss that one. It's going to hit you in the nose.
Well, it's just way too aggressive. I'm all for being aggressive, but when the safety's on top of the receiver by 5 yards.
Then Ridley just beats Christian Fulton. Fulton has no chance.
So C.J. Stroud thinks, okay, I can hit Nico on a little inbreaker, but an excellent job dropping underneath it. He doesn't see him, and a big interception for this Cardinals defense.
Wilson comes in motion. He's going to sit down. That draws the attention of Spillane. So the underneath coverage is up tight. That creates a window. You hit him in stride. Nobody's catching Tyreek. Watch his reaction. He's able to get up and get his arms around Tyreek's legs. Nowhere to go. By Xavier Howard. Watch as he's looking in. His eyes are in it. Aiden O'Connell.
Where you're able to catch it and tuck it away.
Such anticipation. There's the break. The ball's already released right there in time.
Different concept, similar design. Wilson goes to the inside to draw the attention of the safety Merrick, and then
Logan Thomas runs. They game plan against Wink Martindale's defense. You think he's going to run an over route, goes right behind Michael McFadden.
That time, they didn't get to him. And for a young quarterback not to lose his eyes, to look down the field.
Double move here outside by Rondale Moore, and Kyler Murray stands in the pocket and delivers a shot down the field.
In the moment, and it wasn't a rookie with a lot of pressure on him. He set up and threw a strike.
To make you pay, it's just straight goal line man across the board. Everyone's heels are on the front end line.
Just going to run up to the hash and slam on the brakes. And he's going to leave Kendricks. Kendricks thought he might potentially cross the ball. But watch, he's just going to run a little sit route right here, and there's just no wrap up from the defense. I mean, Mike Davis hits him, and then he doesn't hold on to him.
These routes with CeeDee Lamb off the field. You see here they start.
Well, here he's going to run all the way across the field. Get up. See that quick little stair step to lead Ballantyne.
A lot of people think this is just a possession receiver, and you see him make catches like this all the time. Early down here, just a comeback. The speed of Brandon Cooks. It looks like a go route. DiCaprio, Boodle.
Corner routes are going to be wide open, and the motion kind of screwed up their alignment and responsibilities and left two wide open corner routes, one to Smart and one to Johnson.
Why? Because that ball is supposed to be to the outside towards the pylon.
Rolling down the hallway with a cat chasing it. Watch. Makes the route. McDuffie's all over him, 58.
Hey, go back to that third down. He sees his matchup out wide with the tight end Sullivan. Hill, he's made his presence felt. They brought pressure. Nice job by Dallas. Luvu did a nice job. He picks up CeeDee Lamb in the zone coverage across the formation. And when he goes down for the ball, nice job there again. Just a little choice route. Ware's playing through the ground. Just a little option route. You see him get into the wake of the stack player. And if you're going to play this Dallas offense in the style that Carolina is, letting them throw the ball underneath.
Around for a number of years, 9 years. Gets it done with quickness. That time he had his eyes on the ball, got his right hand on it.
There's this, and that's, I want the ball. I need to get in on the action. He must have been able to hear you. But you see how far he comes back to make sure.
Trying to get CeeDee Lamb up the slot. No receiver in the league is more production.
Off coverage, so now you got to make a tackle. You know, that's Odell Beckham, who's getting healthier and healthier. He gets right around Taylor.
Receptions, as a matter of fact.
So there's just this simple little two-man stack. It just makes Jordan